Kava, what's up, bro?
I'm just chilling. This is the Beyond the Lyrics podcast.
Drum
That's
roll.
the homie Emcee Ski. I am the magnificent Kavawon. We are here to talk about the year 2025 in Vancouver and hip hop and all of those things.
Yeah, I was just checking because I was trying to get a special guest here tonight, but I think she might have had something else going on. But Indeedy Cascade, because next week Saturday is her
Sagittarius soiree.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So, but I told her whether she able to make it or not, we still going to promote it. And there was another event. My man STL, he has an event out in White Rock.
Yeah.
And it's like I think it's the 10th. And it's a show, a bunch of the youth are dancing, rapping, and I think some of the proceeds go towards charity out there in White Rock. So,
Nice.
So me and my wife, since it's right there in our neighborhood, we gonna come and support.
Cool.
But other than that, how's it been going, man?
It's been busy for me for sure. A lot of music-related things happening, things in my blossoming producer career.
Yeah, you expanding,
studio guy.
you're expanding your skill set.
Yeah. Learning a bunch of new stuff from the Ukrainian secret weapon. Shout out to Kostya. Rise Def.
Shout out
Kostya. We're kind of going over I have an EP that's finished now. We're just kind of, you know what I mean? We're putting the final polish on it. Like we're 85% finished mastering. It could probably come out for January 1st. I was thinking about it. I kind of got to get going on the artwork and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're doing the ghostwriting thing. We got a lot of things bubbling up over that end of things. A lot of in studio stuff. That's been kind of the main focus of my life right now, and it's been great. And we won't talk about fantasy football or fantasy basketball. That's how it is.
You're not doing good in
Oh no, man. No. I'm having one of, if it's not my worst fantasy football season, probably my second worst. At least it's the most frustrating, bar none.
Yeah.
It is the worst season. Traded away the wrong players, traded for the wrong players, just everything, man. So playing for my playoff life this weekend against the top guy in the league.
So are you just in one?
I'm excited for Christmas.
you just in one fantasy football league, or you in multiple?
I'm in one this year, and I'm in two basketball ones. I've never really been that great at basketball, so that's just a difficult learning curve. There's a lot more roster management in fantasy basketball.
Yeah, a lot of games.
There's a lot of load management in basketball. You're starting a dude who's shows no signs of being injured, and then all of a sudden you check back into the game a couple hours later, and so-and-so didn't even suit up today. I had no idea. I'm going to lose because that's great.
Well, that's kind of been a topic. I think Michael Jordan and stuff, some of the veterans were talking about that, this whole load management, and do you feel like it robbed the people? Because you pay to see, say, LeBron James, and you, especially prices now, you pay all this money, and you go there, and it's like, oh, yeah, he ain't playing tonight because...
It's hard to say because, those games that he doesn't play could be adding 3 years at the end of his career. You know what I mean? So what do you want? I think it's a lesser evil, I guess. You know what I mean? Than losing a guy for his whole career.
Or,
you know what I mean?
Or injury later in the season.
Yeah.
But I just feel bad for the parent. He's like, man, I got 4 kids I done brought up in here. I done paid $1,000 for.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think football should definitely be more the sport that does load management.
So they don't do load management?
No.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's the man sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Ronnie Lott. Didn't he have a finger hanging?
Yeah.
Like a digit of his like ring finger hanging, and they said, we're going to take you to the hospital and ice it and stitch it back up, but you might lose some feeling. And he said, cut it off. I'm not leaving this game. And they did. They cut that end digit of his finger off, and because he did not want to leave the game. So try and tell Ronnie Lott about load management.
That's going.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm really that into winning the game.
Well, I do feel like a lot of the football players, you see their fingers, the way they walk and stuff, and even basketball players, but definitely football players.
Yeah, like
they fingers.
That's a costly W, my friend.
He just constantly throwing up West Side.
You doing the shocker for the rest of your life?
Ronnie Lott was the man, though, yo.
Yeah,
Woo,
yes.
That whole 49ers secondary back in the day.
Yeah, that was the last time they've really been any good, too. They've been good, but
well, that was a dynasty back then.
Yeah, the thing that's funny is everybody, and I hate these guys, man. Like, I hate the Dallas Cowboys, man. But everybody forgets that the Cowboys have a more recent Super Bowl than the 49ers.
But they went to the Super Bowl, but they just lost.
They just haven't won one. But
they went with Kaepernick.
Yeah, they went with Kaepernick.
And then once he took the knee, they was like, gotta get rid of him.
They went with Purdy. They went with Brock Purdy.
Okay.
Who was it with Kaepernick twice? They lost to the Ravens that one. Then they lost to Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo was the other quarterback.
Yeah.
That was the one where they lost to the Patriots?
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking, something like that.
Okay.
Or maybe that was the other Ravens one. Because no, I don't know.
Yeah, but they were definitely in the 80s and 90s. They were a dominant team.
Yep.
Cowboys too back in the day, and the Steelers. My Giants had a couple.
Yeah. You know what's crazy to me that I think it's one of the craziest sports stats out there. What? The Pittsburgh Steelers have only had 3 coaches in the entire history of that franchise. 3.
I know Chuck Noll was one of them.
Yeah, and he went all the way up until like the late 80s. And then, what's his name? Oh, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. The guy right before Tomlin.
Tomlin, he's still coaching.
He's still there now, yeah. Oh man, I loved that coach too. I can't believe I'm forgetting who he is, but yeah, they were a great team. I used to really like them, but then they became like my brother's favorite team. And you ever notice that thing where if it becomes like your bro's team or your homie's team, you hate them all of a sudden, no reason whatsoever. You just start to like subconsciously root against them. I don't know why. Like same with my dad's team. Like I've never rooted for my dad. I've always rooted against. Well, he would have called them the Redskins, but he's always rooted for Washington, and I've never once felt the inclination to root for that team.
I grew up a Giants fan, being from Jersey, but also a Steelers fan because for some reason my mom really liked Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day. So I grew up.
I think it's just what they represented, you know what I mean, in the 70s, like that hard work.
Yeah, that blue collar.
Yes, like yeah.
After they finish the game, they go into the warehouse to finish the second shift.
Isn't Pittsburgh the fan base where they wear the hard hats to the field?
I think so.
Yeah. Because the steel workers.
Yeah.
So it's I think that's probably, like it would be hard to root against the team. Like, I wasn't around watching sports in that era.
I think my mom had a crush on Franco Harris. That's
or
Lynn Swan.
Or Lynn Swan.
Or Lynn Swan. That's how she watched some of the games and stuff. And because she loved Magic Johnson, she watched Lakers and she was like, "That's your daddy." I was like, "Well, he ain't sending us no money up this month." But yeah, I grew up a Giants fan, but definitely, and it's crazy because one of my good friends in high school, he's from New York, and he's a diehard Dallas fan, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it because I think there was a lot of cats growing up. They love Dallas because Dallas was a dominant team.
Yeah,
from
in the 90s,
Tony Dorsett to Emmett Smith and them, like
that big trade, the Herschel Walker changed everything. That got them Aikman, Irvin, Emmett Smith, all like that was all in consecutive drafts, wasn't it? It was Aikman first, then it was Irvin, then it was Emmett, I believe.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see where Herschel Walker is right now.
Yeah.
But then he got drafted by like the Washington Capitals. They had the USFL, and I think Donald Trump owned the New Jersey Generals. That's what it was. New Jersey Generals, and they had the first pick of the USFL draft, and I think it was Herschel Walker.
Okay.
So he played a couple of years. He played a year or two there, and then it folded, and then I think he went to Dallas or something.
Yeah. He went to Dallas, and then Minnesota was the big trade that got the Cowboys their dynasty era in the 90s.
So that's how it came about. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and they've been trash ever since. Go Birds.
How they doing this shit? How the Eagles?
We're 8-4, but it's the most frustrating 8-4 you've ever seen in your life, man.
Yeah.
It's we got to fix that offense. We got to fire that OC, man. Like it's getting bad there, and you know how the fans are in Philly and stuff like that. So they've been calling for his job for a while. After the last loss this past weekend, I guess his house got egged. Multiple times.
They go crazy. Like Oakland and Philly.
Yeah.
Them fans don't play.
Yeah, even in the other sports, like Philly's always been like a bruiser basketball team. You know what I mean? Like Barkley and Mahorn back in the day. You know what I mean? Like they've always just been. That's Philly's identity,
brotherly.
You know what I mean? Like they've just been a tough city.
Well, like you said, it's crazy because it fits the branding, like you said about the Steelers.
Yeah,
how they kind of represent the steel workers and that blue collar.
Yeah.
Whereas
Philly just represents the assholes.
Just rough. It's rough. But yeah, 2025 has a lot came and gone.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. I remember I was prepping for 2025 this time last year. Just I'm into spiritual stuff. I look up astrology. I know my birth charts for natal, all that like deep dive and shit.
Yeah.
So I was, kind of put on game that 2025 was going to be a really big year for me, and then it literally did all that. Started with the Eagles winning the second Super Bowl, and the funny thing is when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2018, that also ended up being like a big year for me. So it's like I needed the Eagles to win because I knew, I was like, if this happens, it's good. The prophecy is fulfilled. And it's ended up being that, music. Like I haven't released much music, to the casual observer who's paid attention to me. It might appear as though I've kind of fallen off the face of the earth, but it's more like just I'm in the cocoon mode right now. 2025 was one big cocoon, and in other aspects of life I've emerged already.
Yeah. Well, it's like ebb and
music
flow.
Is next.
Yeah, it's like ebb and flow. Like the beginning of the year, due to my wife having an injury, that kind of I wasn't really performing. I'm still kind of recording, but even that actually, because that's the reason why it took a little long working on the project that I got with you when you doing the music. Had to take a little pause, make sure, my wife was good. But I was fortunate to go back home to Jersey and Philly.
Yeah.
So when you was talking about astrology and spiritual, it just you remind me of my boy Busy J, because when I went and saw him. Now, mind you, we keep in touch.
Yeah.
But seeing him in the physical, it's been like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so soon as I see him, we talk for like 14 hours straight. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome, man. I love that.
Well, that's the thing. That's my bro, you know?
Yeah.
And seeing him, my boy Parnell, I was trying to link up with a couple of other cats. Another childhood friend, Rob. We grew up playing tackle football as little kids and stuff. Matter of fact, he was one because he's a solid dude. And I remember going to tackle him, and I went, and his big Earl Campbell thigh hit me in the head. And I just felt all this felt
you got the stinger.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a stinger that I feel like phantom pain from still. You know what I mean? Like that pain, it's a very distinct pain. You know what I mean? Like it feels like someone. The best way I could explain it to somebody is like someone took a flaming rock and whipped it, and it hit you right in the back of your head. So it half burned and it half hurt.
That's the thing. It was just burning, feeling, just going down and stuff.
Dude. Oh.
And it's funny because so we used to play tackle football on Spring Street. At the end, there was this church, and they had this grass. So, you know, with little kids, you got grass. We playing football.
Yeah.
But there was a sidewalk that ran through it.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime we get to the sidewalk, we be like, okay, hold on. Let's pick up afterwards.
Yeah.
But
that's when you do the Franco Harris just voluntarily go out of bounds kind of thing.
Yeah. That was the safe spot. That was the safe zone right there.
Yeah.
Yo, you can't tackle me.
It's
here.
the equivalent of the QB slide.
So you know, being in Trenton, man, and seeing some childhood buddies was good. In Philly, my boy Paul Moore, who I actually got in music with. Yeah. And he's probably, I think I've known Paul the longest. I think we've known each other since like 5th or 6th grade or something like that.
Wow. He's still doing music?
Well, yeah, he does. But it's just for fun for him. Yeah. He's got like a whole studio because he's in IT.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So he tell you when we went to his one room, and it's like he's got this driving race car. It's like you sit down and the car shakes and everything. But then he's got all this music equipment. He still got the beat machines from when
you guys were using them. Wow.
You know what I mean? So it was good seeing him. He lived out in Philly though. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing too. Like anytime we go out, my boys would be like, yo, I gotta get my piece. And I'd be like, what? We just going to the store. He's like, bro.
It's 2025.
Yeah, it's 2025. You gotta have your piece. You gotta have your pole, your stick, or whatever euphemism they call it.
Yeah.
Let me squeeze. So I was like, oh, okay. Because, you know, when I left to go in the Navy in the late 80s, guns was coming on the scene, but it wasn't that prevalent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was once I was in the Navy and like the 90s hit.
You came back and
Yeah. I remember at some buddy's house and for New Year's it was like maybe 90, 91 or 92. And they pull out their guns and they start busting in the air and I'm like When did this happen up in here?
Yeah. We in Gaza right now?
For real. There was like Onyx up in here.
Yeah.
1 gun, 2 gun, 3 gun, 4. Yo, man, it's all about crime. Onyx. They were throwing their guns in there. I was like, okay. Like Biggie said, things done changed.
Yeah. Wow.
But nah, it was good going home, seeing family and friends and stuff, and going down to Carolina as well. So that was good, and you know, like I said, making sure my wife was straight from her injury. You know, she's good now, and so once she was better, just started doing music and beats, blues, and bars. We just been.
You guys been taking off, man.
Yeah, and
you're active now.
But it's crazy because we did so many shows that now when I show up to a place, some people will see me, they be like, yo, and I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? They be like, yo, you did this show there. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. You know how when you show up and mothers be like, yo, and you like, yo, what's up?
Yeah. Now we're older, so we know we didn't do some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like when I 10 years ago, I'd be like,
Yeah, for real.
What do you remember?
For real. Me mugging him.
Yeah.
Now, okay, it's got to be something dealing with music.
Yeah.
None of that dumb shit.
Yeah.
But so, that's what I mean. It's been like highs and lows. It's been some real good highs and been some lows. Lost a uncle, which was the fourth uncle in like 2.5 years. And then a couple of my childhood buddies that I was hoping to see when I went back to Jersey.
Yeah.
They passed away, so it's been some highs and lows and stuff, but I'm grateful for every moment I'm above ground.
Yeah. I'd say getting back to the music end, I think it seems like Vancouver is, the hip hop scene is in a growth period again.
Definitely.
It's cool to see that. I think definitely moving into next year, we need to kind of reach even further out, because we know a lot of people. So everybody we bring on is all people we know and stuff like that. Yeah. So just for shits and gigs, the other day, I went on Chat GPT and I asked, because it knows we have the podcast, it knows all that shit about me. But I was like, so who would you recommend that I bring on as a guest? Give me a list of 20 artists from Vancouver that are in the hip hop space that we should bring. And literally every single one of them were not people that like we knew or that a lot of them I hadn't even heard of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, that kind of showed me, I'm like, shit, man. We're pretty tapped in. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even through our network of people we know, you know what I mean? Like, because we also know promoters, so we know who's performing at what venues, and we know what shows are coming up, and you know what I mean? And even beyond that scope of people, who, because it does start to feel, even though this is a really big city, you go to enough events, it does start to feel like a small, close-knit group, sort of, you know what I mean? Like, you see a lot of the same faces at the Icon events, or who go to hip-hop shows, or who go to Set the Bar battle events, you know what I mean? So it does start to feel close-knit to where you feel like you've seen everybody.
Yeah.
So it was really surprising for me to come across, like, new faces. And actually, I started to listen to some of them, and I actually really liked them. There's an artist, Eric Repred. He's from out here. I don't know if he's Chinese or Vietnamese, but he's Asian. He's definitely on the new wave. Like,
so we're gonna have to get him on here.
Yeah, I would compare his stuff, like the audio dynamics and stuff. It's comparable to like a Young Thug kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very different sound to be coming out of this city, but I like. I'll have to show you some of it.
Okay,
for sure.
Definitely. We're gonna have to reach out and get some of the new cats, and then also some of the vets and some of the ones we've had before, and we already talked about what we're looking to do is take it to the town, go out into the town, pop up, you know what I mean, with a mobile set and do our interviews and not just be isolated to the first Thursday of every month.
Yes. I'm going to actually try to start doing that this month. I'm just going to I'm going to get a new setup going, and I'm just going to start trying to, even if I'm just hanging out with people, you know what I mean? Like in the studio, talk to Kostya.
Yeah.
I did actually talk to him the other day. I was like, because he's got a crazy story. Like, you've heard some of his stories, right?
Yeah.
And just like, I think that's an amazing story. Like, I think what he's doing here and like how he's doing here and like everything, just like him to come from what he had over there, lose it all, come here with nothing and start it all over again.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And through us, he's got to know more people, and like I fucks with that a lot. Like I like when, because me and him are kind of like inseparable, even though we don't work together anymore. We still together all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I like it when I go places and people know me, but then they've started to recognize him too. They'll be like, "Oh shit, what's up, bro?" and stuff. It's cool seeing him like start to like fit in and stuff like that. I like it.
No, I definitely think being able to do interviews right there on the spot, because we find ourselves in spaces, whether we're performing or whether we just there to support. It'd be dope to just pull somebody aside and okay, beyond the lyrics at R.A. Rugged Man show. You know what I mean? At this hip hop event or this other event and get to meet other artists and have them tell a little bit of their story and stuff and also just having content.
Yeah.
To put
and
out.
honestly, like that's the other thing too is like people is what make podcasts and make, big community oriented things like music work and stuff like that. So I kind of realized like we don't always have to talk to, like in some of these smaller segments, artists. Like we could, if we're at an Icon event, we could ask people who aren't artists what it's like for them to witness this. And like, how has this city's hip hop scene kind of influenced your musical tastes, or even like how you move in this city? Like, what are your hobbies? You know what I mean? Like, there's all kinds of different avenues
and businesses and organizations
that hip hop has its fingerprints on. And a lot, and all of them, most of them are positive. You know what I mean? There's not. I like that this city doesn't have the drama. You know what I mean? Like, you and me don't have to like worry about going to a certain side of town. You know what I mean? And having something happen. And same for the other artists, or at least as far as I know. You know what I mean? But
everybody doing their thing, and that's one thing I noticed is definitely community, and you realize how important community is. I was just telling somebody that because community gives birth to culture. And culture gave birth to the different art forms, whether it's music, painting. Like the other day, I was the homie Detour hit me up to drop some vocals on his project, and he's a graph. Not only a rapper, a graph. So I know some people that's looking for visual artists. For an event they got going on. So you have all these resources. So hopefully next year we can definitely pull that together and really be out there and.
Yeah, I like the pace that everything's gone. Like we still deal with our technical issues and stuff like that, to where it's like if we were to try to have pushed full bore and earlier, like let's say last year, you know what I mean, then there's a such thing as it not being ready enough, you know what I mean? Like I understand the jump in with 2 feet type of mentality, and with a lot of things, music that works, sometimes it's even ideal, but like the other factors that we don't have control over, like access to the studio, technical issues that we deal with equipment here and stuff like that, it makes it really hard to try to stay consistent without coming up with other means to connect with people and create content and meaningful content too. You know what I mean? We're not out here trolling, doing the shitty dollar on the sidewalk for reactions.
And sometimes, people are busy and stuff, and they want to, be interviewed and they want to tell their story. So if we have the opportunity, especially with technology now, where we can just be like, okay, we coming to you. You know what I mean? And especially getting out to some of these businesses like the clothing store. What's the
Dip. Yes, we definitely got to do that.
I mean, just to be around since I think it's been 25 years for them.
Yeah, I think it's 99, something like that.
Yeah, 25, 26 years. I mean, for a hip hop clothing store.
Never went down.
Like
it stayed the same brick and mortar location. Like that's pretty crazy, man. Like,
so we got to get that store. We got to capture that store.
Yeah, for sure. It's gone through every phase. You know what I mean? It's gone through the extra long spray paint long tees. It's gone through the wooden
skinny jeans.
necklace, fucking cassette tape, fucking era. It's gone through fucking FUBU, all that shit.
For real. And I'm pretty sure he's got a bunch of stories, to share about his journey and the culture, the hip hop culture here.
I'm sure I'd like to hear stories of like famous artists who've come through. I'm sure somebody's gone and hit
Wu,
that story.
I know. I think I've seen Wu with some of his stuff, and so yeah, I'm pretty sure because if you're a hip hop artist and you come and you be like, yo, I want an outfit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chances are they're gonna be like, okay, let's go to Dip. So now we definitely got to link up with him, and I've been meeting up with some organizations like Hogan's Alley Society that did the Jimi Hendrix Grandma house event.
That's in Yaletown, right?
Yeah. Ish. And East Fan.
Oh, okay.
East Fan actually, and going towards there, but they doing a lot of things, and hopefully we can get them here for February for Black History Month because they actually got grant and they building a low income high rise for people of African descent and minorities. So they doing things in the community, helping give back, but they also are getting into doing events and stuff. So have them on here. I definitely want to get our native community on here. I'm gonna reach out to Locahanis and the clothing store. It's crazy because I brought a shirt from there and I don't know what happened to my shirt. I can't find it, so I'm gonna have to buy another shirt.
Oh yeah.
But and again, just different communities telling their stories. You know what I mean? People that's underrepresented.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we talked about with this platform. I was telling Detour and Matt Truitt, Matt on the beat. I was telling them our philosophy. You know what I mean? Whereas we got this table and we bringing everybody to the table, and it's like, bro, you got the bread, he got the lettuce, he got the cheese, he got the turkey, he got the mayo. Let's come together and make a delicious sandwich. Yeah. Don't be over there eating your dry ass bread and he just eating the mayo and shit.
Don't eat mayo. Just don't do it.
Yeah, for real. Let's come together and make some delicious sandwiches.
Yeah.
So and they felt that. You know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to do is just create this platform. Yeah, in case y'all hear some music in the background, we got dueling pianos that's going to be starting later. They got an open house here at Beaumont. And shout out to Beaumont Studios.
Hell yeah, shout out to Beaumont. We wouldn't be able to put on this lovely program for you guys without them allowing us to use the facilities. We definitely want to try and do a give back type of event next year as well.
Yep.
Yeah, there's so many things on the go. It's hard to figure out where to start sometimes.
Yeah.
But
next year we're gonna have an event popping off, and we're gonna donate some of the proceeds to Beaumont Studios because they just give a space for artists to come and be creative and and show. And that's what this open house is. People are actually the artists that have spots in here. They open up their space,
studios,
their studios, and people come and see their art, and it's just a really good opportunity for.
They
artists.
Do a lot of cool stuff in the summer too, man. Outdoor stuff in between the two buildings, and
it's a dope venue, really.
Yeah, this is a hidden gem community resource for sure, man.
Yeah. So one of the things I want to talk about is, since we're talking about the end of 2025. There were some big events that happened this past year. So first thing I got here is one of the big things was, of course, Trump winning his second term and all the shenanigans that has happened since then. The Charlie Kirk assassination, which is crazy. it was an assassination live on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's some JFK type.
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah. And just so people know, that was also the same day that the government was voting on releasing the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Just saying. Just saying. And
what a coincidence.
Coincidence.
They seem to happen a lot.
Yeah. We still talking about Epstein?
Yeah.
But then recently they dropped the Diddy docuseries.
I want to check that out. I haven't got a chance to check it out yet.
Yo. What gets me is now that and I get it, when he was out, he had power, people were kind of scared to say things, but like once it went down, you had people like, oh, that's been the word on the street for years, is that he this and that, and it's like, this been going on for how long? Like that docuseries, like I think it went back to 91. He was doing the fuckery.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I saw episode 1, and I think me and my wife finished episode 2. And yeah, it's crazy, and it's crazy that 50 Cent is the
the king of petty.
Produce it. And it's, you definitely gotta check it out, bro. You definitely gotta check it out. And it's just hard because I remember being on the outside looking in because in the early 90s I was stationed overseas. And we looking at it and we like, yo, he doing it, like Puffy doing it. Here's a young black man, hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this and that, but you didn't know all the shit that was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it just really hits home, and it kind of messes up when you hear some of your favorite songs from back in the day, and this motherfucker come on there like, take that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh nah.
Yeah.
Like I was telling my boys and stuff, man. I was like, man, I'm so happy that my mom didn't sign that record contract when I was in high school.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, no telling what would have happened. You at the party, Harlem shaking, and next thing you know, you get hit with baby oil and shit. And I'm like, yo, baby oil, nigga, I'm a cocoa butter baby. We don't fuck with baby oil like that. What the hell is going on up in here? But yeah, if you get some time, check it out, man. It's well put together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also another thing, hello.
What's going on in here?
Just our podcast, Beyond the Lyrics, and we have artists and businesses come up and just tell their stories.
Oh, that's interesting.
This is our 2025 wrap-up episode.
Yeah. 2025 has went by like that, so.
Well, it went by very quickly, but now we're in the 12 out of 12.
So another thing that happened this year was a resurgence of veteran MCs. So shout out to Nas, who put out a lot through his Master Pill.
Yeah.
He's really been
Clips.
Yep. So you got the Clips, Slick Rick, Raekwon, Ghostface, De La Soul. I really like that album.
Yes, I really like that album.
Big L. You know what I'm saying? And I think RZA is also working on some stuff with like the Juice Crew,
Oh, wow.
which Big Daddy Kane's, Cool G Rap. I don't know if Emcee Shan going there. Emcee Shan be going off.
Oh, what is up with that? What is going on with that?
Shan like, for real. He be up in there just.
No teeth in.
And it's hard, bro, because that was one of the MCs that influenced me as a kid. Like it was LL, MC Shan, Run DMC, before the Rakims and Big Daddy and stuff. But yeah, he definitely be going in and stuff.
So what exactly is his beef with? It's Kane, right? He's got a beef with Big Daddy Kane.
I think there always been this competition,
Competitive rivalry.
Yeah. I think even with Cool G, Kane, because I mean, Shan was nice, you know what I mean, and he had the bridge and all, he had some joints. But when you thought of Juice Crew, you thought of Kane and Cool G.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And no disrespect, like you had Master
Craig
Ace,
G.
Craig G.
Yeah.
That was another one of the MCs that I used to
Master
rock
Ace.
with. Master Ace, yeah. So Roxanne
Like,
Shante.
To be honest, Shan's kind of like the caboose. To
Yeah.
me, it was.
Well, I mean, he had the smooth style and stuff, but when you're an MC and you talking about lyricists and lyricism, you checking out Big Daddy Kane and Cool G Rap.
Yeah.
And then after them, you checking out Craig G and Master Ace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before you dip into Shan. You know, Shan had cool lyrics, but I think his was more just the style and the voice.
Bravado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he was, whereas Cool G Rap, this much.
Well, he's kind of he hit his peak in that era of hip hop before hip hop became about aggression and you know, very violent projecting energy. You know what I mean? Like he's from that Fresh Prince, you know, redhead kingpin, like still having backup dancers.
Day.
Yeah, right. So I could see where Shan gets lost in the shuffle because that's kind of his era, and sure they were all kind of from the same time, but like Master Ace, he definitely came into his own later on with the street narratives. You know what I mean? Same with pretty much the rest of them.
Yeah,
you know what I
Cool
mean?
G, Kane, and stuff. And again, like when you have a group, there might be just one Lauryn Hill. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that Clef isn't dope or Prozz isn't dope, but it's just like with Wu-Tang. I always watch this one clip when they Wu-Tang performing at in Harlem.
Apollo.
And you know, Inspector Deck come out and the crowd goes wild. But then when Methco comes out, they lose it. You know what I mean? And again, like everybody's dope, but certain people have star power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that can create some envy and jealousy.
Yeah.
So it seemed like there was always this rivalry with Shan and Kane. And I didn't know this until later, but Kane and KRS-One are real good friends. You know, and you know, Shan had the battle with KRS-One.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this
until
until
it all makes sense now.
and that's why I like hearing. That's why we gotta have people tell their story. So apparently, like when Kane was moving, KRS-One helped him move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, see, that's what you get when you sit down and share stories and stuff. You know, so I was like, oh, I didn't know they was tight like that. So that could be another thing, you know, causing friction between Shan and.
I gotta kind of bring this up. It's unrelated, but since you brought up Lauryn Hill and Prozz and them and then Wu-Tang, I heard a hilarious story the other day. So that song with Maya and Prozz, Ghetto Superstar, and like ODB's on it and everything. So Prozz is on an interview and they're asking him about how that whole song came together. And basically what happened is, I guess, Old Dirty just kind of stumbled into their session. And the first thing he does, he looks at his homie, he's like, who the hell is this dude here? Pointing at Prozz. And then they're like, oh, this is blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, and then they realize, he's like, oh, man, I hate this shit. Fucking Riz's older brother, I can't remember his name. He's like, oh, he always do this to me. Da-da-da-da. He set up the wrong studio. And he's like, oh, where are you supposed to be recording? And then he says someplace. And they're in California recording right now. The studio he's talking about is in New York. And he's just like, oh. And then so he's just kind of like, you know, he was just kind of a distraction to the whole process. And then, so then, anyways, they kind of go about getting back to the session. Old Dirty's there, and then all of a sudden he hears the beat come on. He's like, "Oh, what's that? What's that? I like that." Da da da. And then they're like, so they want to finish the song, and he's asking, "Oh, can I get on this song?" And then Prozz is like, Wyclef's like, let him do his old bullshit. When he leaves, we'll just erase it. So he's like, okay. So they go and they record the song. They put the beat on. Old Dirty gets in there. He's like, huh! "Hey, hey." He's like, okay, I'm done. He's like, do another take. And then he's like, now he's like doing some more words, a bit of words. And then he's like, okay, I'm done. He's like, do another take. And then he raps the verse. He recorded ad-libs, backups, then verse in that order. And he wasn't even supposed to be on the song either.
Wow.
He just stormed a session and created enough of a scene that they let him get on a mic, and then they were so blown away at watching how he recorded the song. They let him be on. They kept it. They let him stay on the song. But like the fact that he was on the song when he wasn't supposed to and he just stormed the session is one thing.
Yeah.
And especially how big that song became.
Yeah.
But when I heard the part of the story where he recorded his ad-libs first,
that's crazy.
then his backups, then the
his main
verse
vocals.
was last. What the? That still gives my brain a cramp trying to figure out how the hell he did that. On the spot.
Yeah.
On the spot. Didn't write nothing. Like, what the hell?
So I got a Wu-Tang story with ODB. So when I was stationed in Hawaii, so if you look at the Wu-Tang video, It's Yours, they recorded some of that in Hawaii at a club.
Yeah.
And me, my ex-wife, and a couple of my peoples are in the video because we was right there by the front stage.
Oh, nice.
So I never forget. So we standing in line, and Wu-Tang come up, and Old Dirty, he grabbed two girls to go in. And so as he's going in, he see these two fine girls over there. He was like, he's like, I grabbed the wrong bitches. So he let them go in, and he went and came back and got those girls and brought them in.
Wow. Very old dirty.
Old dirtyish. And also a funny stories. So after the show, you know, they kind of mingling. Wu-Tang kind of mingling. And so the limo pulls up, and You God is in there.
Yeah.
And one of my boys, who's dope Emcee, and he had this thing where he can make a beat on his chest while he rhyming.
Wow.
And so he started doing it, and then You God just pulled off. like they wasn't
Not today.
Yeah, they wasn't trying to sign nobody. They was just straight up trying to holler at honeys and stuff.
Yeah.
Cause I met RZA that night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I can tell they was
Yeah.
they had girls on their mind and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Meth was real cool. We had this lanyard because we was Lost Tribe. And we had this table, we had this little tag that we would wear, and he grabbed it from my man and he threw it on and was rocking it on stage and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And but Meth always seemed like the type that do stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, man, you know, you can have a group. You're gonna have one or two that shines and everybody. And it's like that even with sports.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, not everybody can be a Jordan.
Yeah.
You're going to need a Paxson. You're going to need a Kukoc.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
and if long as you play your part and do it well, you can still get
A ring.
yeah, you can still get a ring and you can still be an all-star. You can
Yeah.
you know. So
You know
yeah.
what? Honestly, like, just being a guy like on a winning team like that and getting a chance, like even if you're the 12th guy on the bench, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be a part of history, man. Like, you know. So the same thing is if you're in a group that's winning, and there's two alpha dogs in that group that are standing out, man.
Yeah.
Just go with it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
You know, however, hip hop is a lot more of a toxic space than sports, and you know, there's a lot more loyalty, I would say, in the sport world than in hip hop and stuff like that. But I still think that trying to shine is what kills a lot of careers. You know what I mean? Instead of being yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like. Anytime I've been in a group, the guys that were trying the hardest, they were getting seen, but they were never being spoken about.
Yeah.
Definitely not in a flattering or complimentary light.
Because
you know what
then
I mean?
it starts not being authentic.
Yes.
You know, it starts being like this is manufactured.
Hip hop will only tolerate that if it's deliberate. You know what I mean? Like if it's like riff raff or like Lil Dicky. Like if you're leaning all the way into like, you know, parody and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cool. But like, you know, if you're that's the only time you can be inauthentic, really.
Yeah.
In this culture.
Yeah.
And get a pass. You know what I mean? If it's blatantly obvious that it's for the entertainment value, you know, but as soon as you start trying to represent yourself as something you're not, your card eventually will get pulled in this culture.
And that's one thing I love about the hip hop scene here is that dudes just telling their stories. Whether you grew up in East Van or you grew up in New West or you just telling your story. You know, and again, I've always told people, like, we all got good and bad chapters. Just tell your story. But when you start exaggerating and then people start giving you that side eye, like, you you weren't out there like that, bro.
Yeah.
I was just listening to OC Time's Up. He talks about that.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, this cat's fronting too much.
Yeah. Or J. Rue the Damages song, The Bullshit.
Yeah.
I love that. That was one of the best, like, took hyperbole to 1,000.
Yeah.
And drove it off the cliff. Like,
shout out to J. Rue the Damager. So, you know, last year I met him.
Yeah, I remember that.
In Barcelona. We at the airport, and I'm looking, I'm like, that J. Rue the Damager? So I'm like, yo, bro, and just cool. And he invited me to go to some after hour, you know, just a little club spot, because he actually lives out there.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah. He lives out there, and and he's doing shows all over the place. That's the thing too. Just because you don't see cats, they still out there getting it. You know what I mean?
Well, to be honest, man, I think a lot of artists from, you know, his era, you know, and our youthful era, they're probably getting more respect and treated better and making more money overseas than here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, this is just a money machine over here.
Yeah.
You know, the Western world, it's all just a lot of facsimile like glitz and glamour.
It seems like there's
big
more
budget everything, and that's all they want to really have time.
Yeah. And it seems like there's more of a respect for the music, the art form, the culture and stuff. So yeah, he was mad cool. He was like, bro, I'm gonna be kicking at this lounge and stuff. And my
Public Enemy still sells out stadiums in Europe.
Yeah, I think they dropped a project this year too.
Really?
Yeah, either this year
the
or
whole
last
group,
year.
the whole, all of them, like Chuck, Flav,
without
Terminator.
Griff though. Griff.
Oh yeah. He's banned from everything.
Yeah. Griff banned for everything because Griff keeps it real.
Yeah. Realer than most are ready to accept or even hear of.
But they still doing their thing, and you know, Flav still Flavor Flav.
Flaving it up.
Flaving it up. Flavor Flav. Yeah, boy. But yeah, that's what is, you know, it seemed like cats, there's a resurgence. I think some more veterans are looking to drop. Like I said, the RZA is going to be working with Juice Crew, dropping artists like that. So I see I think Daz Dillinger just dropped something. He was putting, another thing I like is that some of these cats are putting out game too, you know, as far as letting people know how to move in this industry.
Yeah.
You know, so Daz was talking about being independent and pressing up vinyls and CDs and stuff. And, you know, granted,
I was just going to ask you, is that what you're planning to do next year with
Beats, Blues, and Bars, and even some of my solo stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Also, shout out to my homeboy, my brother, Crazy D. We just dropped a single, Rock Springs Apartment. So this is the dude that I started writing rhymes with 40 years ago.
That's dope.
In Rock Springs Apartment, you know what I mean? And it's cool, man, because I'm actually getting flowers from my boys. One of my peoples, Big Rob, he's from Jamaica, Queens, Hollis, Queens. he grew up with LL and stuff. He was like, Kev, he's like, Kev, you a pioneer, bro. You know what I mean? And even my man KD, he's like, bro, you still doing it. You inspired me to get back into it and stuff. So, and that's what, seeing these veterans get back and doing it. And so Daz was talking about pressing up vinyls and CDs and stuff. Now, granted, not everybody has a fan base like Daz, because he was saying how he was going to press up like 10,000 or something like that, and he was going to make like 1 point something million. But I scaled it down. Even if you sell 1,000, you know what I mean, and you sell it for $25, that's 25,000 coming to you. You got your taxes and stuff, and maybe you drop something every quarter, or even if you just got 500. You got to start somewhere. And slowly build. But I think a lot of artists are going to start switching away from
back to direct to customer,
direct to consumer, and not getting with these record labels. If you build up and you got leverage where you can sit down. And negotiate your terms instead of having it negotiated to you. If that's what you want to do, but there's still risk in that. But if you want to
Plus, I think everybody's kind of associated record labels with, backdoor, like, baby oil parties now.
Yeah, demonic.
I don't think people really...
We all gang up in
I don't think people really are...
Fucking with them, especially young.
This is the best time for guys like us and independent artists, because I think people are so disenchanted with celebrities in general. You know what I mean? It started in the pandemic. When, some really became pro the bullshit. And kept trying to, herd more people towards the bullshit. People started getting sick of celebrities around that time. You know what I mean? And people just kind of start getting sick and tired of life, you know what I mean? Because I think it took the pandemic for us to kind of stop, observe life, and see, like, how we've been moving without even noticing for, a number of years, in a row. You know what I mean? Like,
the curtain.
Stop and looked at, like, reality TV, but it's the furthest thing from reality. And it's like all over TV. You know what I mean?
I think people got a glimpse behind the curtain a little bit, and they saw the mechanism, and it's like some of us knew certain things were manufactured,
but now to understand the level of that and how prevalent and like dominant it is. I think that's what really kind of opened everybody's eyes. And I think like it's been about 10 years of Spotify now. So I think that the long-term side effects of streaming has finally caught up with the listeners. Like, people are very bored with music now because it's very high saturated market. There's so many more artists that are just putting out
saturated
music, and it's quantity, not quality. And it's kind of affected people's taste, their musical taste. A lot of people are listening to like fusion genres now because they're disenchanted of what hip hop is like.
It's funny you say that, because that was one of the surprising things for me with Beats, Blues, and Bars. Was that young college kids to older people really liked our music. And they like, man, you guys got your own thing here. There's some blues there. There's some funk, soul, hip hop, rock. And so we just had an interview that should be coming out shortly. I think they got to do some editing. But one of the things we talked about too is because what people are going through in their lives, they want to hear somebody talking about what's going on. I think there's this disconnect. Cats coming out and you still talking about your $500,000 car and this and that. The average person,
I don't want to hear that shit.
Especially now, people are going through it, and they like, yo, who's talking the stuff that we're going through? So and again, I'm happy to see some artists that are like my peers and stuff that my age that are dropping and stuff, but it's like, are you disconnected from the average listener? Because people are going through it right now. You know, cats are not spending $50,000 on a iced out necklace.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what makes me mad is when you start dissing the working man and you start clowning.
Yeah.
You know, so I think a lot of people are like, oh, that's what you're on? Like you said, the taste is changing.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, because of the way how things have gone, people would be like, yeah, I'm a hardworking man. I have a job. I didn't get bent over the desk by a record exec.
Yeah. Take that.
So,
Yeah.
you know, it's not, I don't think it has the prestige it used to have anymore being a signed artist.
Definitely. Yeah,
But also, we're in an age where just there's so many tools and accessibility for a blossoming, aspiring artist. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
nowadays, I think there's more musicians than probably ever.
yeah.
And I think that a lot of people, like back when we first started, you were only making music, even if you were in a different genre, you're only making music because you're trying to make it.
Yeah.
There was
yeah.
no such like, I'm making shit for fun for just me and my friends to listen to.
Yeah.
Or for me to just post and have a small little niche audience. Like, no one ever did that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now, like, I know people, like, I have buddies that never fucking did music or seemed like a musical fucking person in their life who are now dabbling in making music. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, I think there isn't that huge wall anymore. It used to be you're an artist or you're a listener.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like, and you know this, like as being an artist, you feel different. You don't like, you know, you listen to music, but you don't consider yourself a listener. You consider yourself an artist, right?
Yeah.
But now there's so many like listeners get a chance to become artists now. You know what I mean? There's apps where you can remix your favorite song. You just upload your song into this app and now you can change the beat, keep the lyrics and you know, like where we come, we might not call that a song. You know what I mean? But like it really is an original piece of art through digital means has been created from a person. You know what I mean? So call it what you want. It is art.
Yeah.
And it therefore it qualifies as a song.
Yeah.
So the fact that music more than ever is more than just an option of listening to. Like you can become a part, you can immerse yourself into it and be a part of the music as a listener now too. And that was one thing I remember. There was a device Kanye had and it flopped. But do you know what I'm talking about? It was
Yeah.
something for his listening platform for Tidal. And I believe it was like a little console. And if you signed up for his app, you could remix and EQ and like alter his songs.
Yeah.
And so like when those kind of experiences are out there, you know, listeners probably aren't feeling like they're listeners anymore.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm making music. I'm an artist. You know what I mean? Like, and they are, man. Like, I'm not going to poo-poo on anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And
everybody starts somewhere, right?
And that's the thing too, is that having different ways of getting people to engage with your art. You know, like you're saying, what Kanye was doing with that, or you know, driving traffic to your website where there's exclusives.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing that Daz Dillinger was doing. He was selling vinyls and stuff, but he had vinyls where he signed, and then vinyls that he didn't sign. You know, so just different ways to get people, you know, an exclusive or something that other people are not offering. You know, and get them to engage. And also too, a lot of people just, you can find your tribe. You know what I mean? You might just have 1,000 people that rock with you, but again, if you're selling merchandise, music, and that 1,000 people,
if they ride for you every time and you know that's 1,000 sales every time you do something new, that's sustainable life for the rest of your life,
especially if you start at 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
By the time you're in your 20s and stuff, you know, that 1,000 is probably 50,000. You know what I mean? And
I've always heard if you can sustain 1,000 paying fans consistently. Like, obviously your goal is to build your fan base and shit, but if you can get 1,000 that are guaranteed, like when you have a new album, they buy it. When you have a new shirt, they buy it. When you have a new hat, they buy it. If you can get 1,000 of those kinds of fans, that's enough to sustain not just like a living, but like a pretty good living.
Yeah.
And you know, those were on the old metrics of where artists were putting out one album a year.
Yeah.
And that was an album that would have like 16 songs or something like that. EPs weren't as much. Now people are putting out 4 EPs of
every quarter.
4 songs.
Every quarter,
instead of 16 songs once in January. You know what I mean? Every 3 months, here's another piece of that. And I really think that's what I'm looking to probably do with my music next year, is something similar to that. It'll like 2026 will be the album, but it's going to come in 4 different or 3 different chunks.
However,
you know what I mean? Like,
however you decide to.
every year has
it.
4 seasons, so you know what I mean? That'd be a good thing. Maybe have like the fall drop, the spring drop. I'd be kind of like I'm going to tuck that away up there.
Well, do you think also too, because how people consume things differently now, they consume it and then they're like, okay, what's next?
Because this was my psychology to it. This is kind of how I've always felt. Because I had this feeling even before I got confirmation from other people who've done it this way. But like when you buy an album, you know, mostly I used to like buy an album and I'd listen to the whole thing once or twice. And then after that, I just kind of skip ahead to the songs I like. You know, I gravitate. And then it'd take a long ass time before I listen to any of those other, go back to those other songs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes I never do. So, you know, like if you're putting out, I used to like to put out big ass fucking albums, you know, 18, 20 songs. Oh, you know what I mean? That's a lot of listening for a listener. You know what I mean? Especially when like, after you moved past cassette tapes, like where people can just skip in a press of a button or make a playlist that doesn't include this song or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. It made it so people would skip past huge chunks of your music. You know, they have your whole album, everything you did in 2025 here, but they're only listening to like 4 or 5 of those 20 songs a lot. And then there's another 5 songs that get played here and there. And then there's 10 songs that aren't getting played at all. But if you take those same 20 songs and every 3 months you put a 5-song EP, it's only when it's only 5 songs. Like if I buy an album and it's an EP and it's got like 6, 7, 8 songs, I'll just let the whole thing play. I'm not going to skip. Unless it's something like one of them's like my favorite fucking song and I'm addicted to it and I'm writing rhymes to it for the next 4 weeks. That's it. But, you know, other than that, like I'll just listen to the whole thing. So my thinking was 4 EPs of 5 songs over the course of a year. There will be more streams and there will be a higher percentage of that complete album in its 4 parts listened to than if I just put out an album with all 20 songs at the beginning of the year.
It'll be more engagement.
Yeah, and it makes it so there's a longer shelf life for everything too. You know what I mean? You ever done that back in the days where like you get a little more money than you usually would have, like maybe like a tax return or something, and you go into Foot Locker and you buy not 1, not 2, but like 3 pairs of shoes. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, like you don't know which, like, instead of having that one dope pair of Jordans, it's like you got 3 that are all right. You know what I mean? Like, they become all right instead of super awesome because when there's more options, it just degrades the value of, you know, the more options there are, the less value to each of the available options. So I think if you give people sample sizes, 4 or 5 songs at a time, it's more of a pain in the ass to skip songs when it's only 4 or 5. Just
Yeah.
let the shit play for 20
Just
minutes,
let it
man.
rock. Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Especially if it's good music, just let it rock.
Yeah.
And then they be like, okay. And then when a couple of months later, you dropping another one. They're like, all right, I just got kind of tired of this one. Now he's got.
And
some
it
new
always
stuff.
gives that. You always want to make the customer or the client, whatever, consumer, feel like they didn't quite get enough and they want more versus you gave them too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like buffets throw food out. You know what I mean? So I think that's what would. I think you just got to kind of manage how you release it to them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's human instinct. I've said it before on the show, and you've heard me the en masse version of the audience. They're goldfish. They have the attention span of goldfish, bro. When all they have to do is listen to the first 7 seconds, decide they don't really want this song, they're gonna skip it because they got 20 songs to listen to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you just gotta slow feed those goldfish. You don't dump out the whole jar. They'll overeat.
bit,
They'll
yeah.
get sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some won't even get to eat.
So, another thing in 2025, unfortunately, we had some heavyweights pass.
Yes.
A couple. I'm not really a big fan, but there's no mistaking his impact. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, but there's no mistaking his impact,
Yeah.
especially in the 80s, 90s.
He made sure he was a cultural icon and no one could ascend past him.
Yeah.
He was very effective at that.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard a crazy story. I heard he was like somebody.
Yeah.
Who was it again? He was connected to somebody. He knew too much about something like that.
Yeah. His death was mysterious. Put it that way. Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
I think. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. But I was like, oh shit, because when he had the show back in the day on TV, he was looking bad back then.
Yeah. He made it to 2025.
It was like oh shit, he passed. Okay. Sly Stone. You know what I mean? Again, I kind of, and there's a bunch more. There's just a couple of names. I'm pretty sure at the end of 2025 there'll be that wrap up for their show, and also you have a couple of rappers that'll come out. Mad Skills to do his end of the year wrap up, and what's his name from that's down with G Unit.
Who Kid?
Not Who Kid. He be rocking with Tony Yayo a lot.
Banks?
Not Banks. Banks don't really rock with him that much. For some reason, I keep wanting to say Murder Mook, but it's not Murder Mook. But he's
Math Hoffa?
No. He started doing a end of the year wrap up. Past couple of years, and it's dope. You know what I mean? He be because he's one of those rappers. He say whatever the hell he want to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's why he's probably with G Unit, cause 50 allow him to be like, yo, say what you want and stuff.
Actually, I got a good question for 2025 music. How do you feel about the influence and the introduction of what AI has done to music?
Ooh. And maybe that's the young old head in me. I just feel like it's cheating. I just feel like, you know what I mean? Like, especially I'm hearing that record companies, they use AI to determine what's going to be a hit and stuff.
Really?
So are they doing their pianos?
Sounds like it's starting, yes.
Okay.
So I could give you guys headphones, or
I think we can kind of wrap it
We
up.
could probably wrap early if it's
Yeah.
easier that way.
Yeah. So probably after this question, we can go ahead but I just feel like it's cheating.
Yeah. Well, yes, that aspect of it, but in some other aspects, like I've seen, like I saw a 70s era, Motown era remix of Cream. Casuals, everything around. And it was fucking amazing, man. I loved it. Like that's on my playlist. So
not to cut you off, the rapper I was talking about was Uncle Murder.
Oh yes.
He
yes.
does a end of the year wrap up. Okay, yeah. I've heard some dope AI stuff.
Yeah. In that sense, when they're like rehashing, you know, like I binged a little bit like last month. I kind of went down this rabbit hole of this one guy who would take Metallica and like Iron Maiden songs and turn them into reggae, like roots reggae, and it was fucking awesome, man. Like I'm telling, like Enter Sandman as a reggae song is fucking unreal, dude. So for those reasons, I think it's cool. But like, you know, what Timbaland's doing with that artist, for example, I don't fuck with that.
Yeah. See, and see, maybe that's the thing. Like, what you saying there is cool. Earlier, what you was talking about, those mashups and stuff. But when they like, oh, we have this AI artist.
Yeah. That has been trained off of demos off of indie artists who submitted to that label.
Yeah.
That, like, it's just.
That's not.
It's a.
No bueno.
It's a really sneaky way of stealing. Like.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But 2025 was interesting, and I think 2026 is going to be even more interesting. And like I said, there's a couple of events going on next Saturday. Ndidi Cascade, Sagittarius Soiree. I can't never pronounce that. And next week, December 10th, if you out in White Rock. My man STL, you can look him up on Instagram. He has a charity event going on. Come out and rock with some young kids representing hip hop. And anything for you before we head out?
Not really. Just everybody be safe. It's that season where we all like to, throw some back with the fam and the friends and
the cops be out there.
Yes. The beast is out there. Watch out. But seriously, enjoy your time. The world's become an increasingly crazy place, and it tends to make us feel like we're trapped in our boxes in our homes. But it's up to us to not feel like we're not. We are not that. We're in our homes with our families. We don't need we just need to take time and be grateful to have that, you know what I mean? Considering, you guys see everything that's going on in the news. There's a lot of things that could be happening to us if we were in a different part of the world. So let's just be grateful for what we have and the people that we have, and let's just safely, victoriously, happily cruise into 2026.
And in the words of the legend Nardwar, keep rocking in the free world. Do. Peace.
That's us. We out, Vancouver. We love y'all. See y'all next year. Peace.